and welcome to an episode of BeamNG.Drive. In today's episode, I'm going to be finding out which is sort of like the best drifting car for certain different situations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of my favorite different drifting cars, and then show you, because I have recorded all of my drifting in them earlier. So I'm just going to go get all the cars ready so I can show you, and I will be right back. Okay, so right here, let's start off with the ETK 800 series. So this car, really, I would think of it as like a novice drifting car. You get into it, and it's really easy to drift. However, it doesn't, you can't go as sideways as you could a proper drift car. Also, one other thing. This car feels like a car that you could actually probably take onto a track and it'll be pretty fast. Now let's look at the one that I really don't like all that much. It is this one. The reason why I don't like it is it's too twitchy. And then the thing about it is it doesn't even get all that sideways when you do get it right. This car requires some skill to drift it, but then again, you don't even get very good drift. Okay, now I'm going to go to this car. This is the Grand Marshal, and this is the Drift Missile model. I know, funny name. Anyway, so this car, honestly, it's kind of floaty when you do take it out there and slide it around. It is floaty. However, you can get this thing pretty sideways, and because it actually does have, if I turn the wheel here, less grip and smaller tires, just less grip than the 200BX, what this car can do is it can slide around and a little bit lower speed, which means that a certain corner, which I'll show you in a minute, you can actually drift it. Well, I can actually drift it. Anyone who watches this is actually probably better than me at drifting. But it is a pretty fun car. And then we go to this car. This car requires actually some skill by some, I mean, if you want to be almost completely perfect with this car, you're going to spend more time than I have with it. I've spent about a day or two with it. Anyway, so I did a crap ton of testing. I got decent with this car. I'm not all that good. Anyway, this car, it's a car that rewards you for being a good driver, and it's a car that'll bite your ass if you're not so good. So now that you've seen these different cars and what they're good at, I'm going to drive around in the two probably best cars here, which this one I'd say is probably the second best. The third best would be the ETK, and the best overall would be the 200BX. And there I am getting way too sideways. Put in second gear. Get around this corner. Right here is the corner that I always screw up. I just always screw that corner up. I can never figure out a way to get that to go good, and right now I'm doing a quite big slide. This isn't really the line you want to get if you want to go through this corner good. See, because now that corner's all bad. But the best part about this car is the eargasms that you have. I mean, you're going to have an eargasm if you drive this. Okay, now I'm going to go to the purebred. The purebred drifting car. So now go into the second corner, give it a little bit too much gas, and then you get to slide it. Okay, that was horrible. Okay, so start the drift. There we go. Okay, now coming up to the hard corner. Come on, do something correctly at least. Nope, that was horrible. Just pretend like I did that correctly, because I totally did. And now I'll get this out. Okay, that's a good line there. And then turn in a little bit. Okay, correct that turn. And then go left. And then pretty much failed at the end. Anyway, see, look, this car, it's better than the Grand Marshal. However, the Grand Marshal doesn't kick you in the ass when you do something a little bit wrong. But I'm still going to say that this is the best car. So, pretty simple video. No really purpose to it. But anyway, hope you liked this episode, and goodbye.